I want to first start off by looking at my notes. Usually you start off with telling a joke, but I don't tell jokes. But I will tell you a story of what happened to me today on the way here. Whenever you got to go somewhere, you know, you make sure you got your clothes of iron, you got a clean shirt, you know, you got a haircut, and you got a shave. There's only one problem is because I was preparing so well for today is I put a nice new razor on my razor and I shaved my face. He's already laughing because he already knows what happened. The guys will know that you never put a new razor in if you got to go somewhere. And by the time I was done putting all the toilet paper on my face, I looked like Bozo the Clown. And it wasn't until I got to Shannon's house that she patched me back up together and we rode in here today. So that's, see, no jokes, but I am a joke. All right. First, I want to thank you all for coming here tonight. It means a lot to the veterans in the community. Appreciate it. I want to thank you, Julie. Where are you, Julie? She's off doing something, probably helping somebody out. Yvette, my friend, my good friend. Yeah. Doing a split on the floor over there. So.
Yeah, right.
All the county partners and Caring Hands for putting on this event. Andy for entrusting me to talk about his organization and come out and talk about veterans issues with you guys. And then, most importantly, Shannon. I joke that she's my handler. If she wasn't helping me out, she basically dresses me. All right, before we start, what I want you guys to do is all take out your phones or a piece of paper. I want you to copy down this number. And this number, and it'll make sense at the end. The number is 508-282-9165. That's 508-282-9165. All right. First off, I want to talk about Boston Wounded Vet Run. And what most people think of Boston Wounded Vet Run is you see actually it's the largest, besides DC, it's the largest bike gathering in the Northeast. And they raise funds, and like this year they raised $110,000 to help severely wounded veterans. Pretty amazing. Boston alone has helped 70 veterans over the last 9 years. Which is full mobility chairs. They bought a car for a guy, they adapted it to him. They bought a few motorcycles for guys, 3-wheelers that really liked it. Or in the case of Christy, was a Marine who lost her leg in Iraq, helped her start her foundation, and in fact, she just came down Mount Everest the other day. Wow. She's one of the ones. And that's all thanks to Andy and his organization. Okay. My story starts off about 2012. I had finished my 4th tour of duty. I had done 2 combat tours in the early 90s, and then I did 2 combat tours. And I came back in 2010. And about 2012, trying to assimilate back into society, my world started unraveling around me. I became estranged from my wife at the time. My kids were afraid of me, and I wanted to die. I wanted to go back to Iraq or Afghanistan and get myself into some trouble and be killed. The reason why I want to do that is because I don't think my kids to think I was a coward. That's how bad it can get and PTSD can get. And ironically, I had been suffering for about 15 years. And as I'm coming out of this and getting a divorce, everything around me, and the ironic thing is when I turned around and asked for help from the people who were closest to me, none of them were there. I was alone. And the only people who helped me were veterans. They helped try and put me back together. And they said, just hold on, just one more day, Mike. And every day they say, hold on, Mike, just one more day. And then eventually that one more day turned into 2 days, turned into 4 days. And I'm still alive. If it wasn't those people, there's a lot of people I could talk about that helped me, and And what it comes down to is that it's about community. Okay? And now I'm going to get into the real nitty-gritty of it. 22 veterans a day kill themselves. Now, that's 22 a day, okay? There's millions of people, okay, 22 a day. But I think this statistic kind of stuck in my brain as to really where it hits home. Veterans only make up 7% of our society. 7. They account for 25% of all the suicides we have in the United States. It's unbelievable. And in fact, when I was just months after I came clean about my suicide, my mentor, one of my best friends, killed himself. How do you recover from that? Well, you do what I did. You do what I did, and you take those steps. So what's the solution? People point the finger at the government. Some people point the finger at organizations. Well, the point game's over. Everything they've tried doesn't work. The only thing that's worked, and worked only in Massachusetts, to bring down the suicide rate is you guys. It's people, especially civilians, who are the eyes and ears on the ground to show us where these guys are that are in need. Because just like you, they're not going to put their hand up in the air and say, I need help. You kind of got to pick at them a little bit. How you doing? Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't work. What's going on with you? Check in with me. What's up? Just say, okay, they were a very good friend of yours, because if you hear, you really care about veterans. And if you can't do it, don't ask permission. Give them my phone number. You pick up the phone. You have my phone number now. That's the number I gave you. You call it and say, hey, Mike, I met you. This guy, he needs help. Even the littlest thing. Because if you can nip it at the bud at the beginning, it can't grow into a worse problem. Right. If someone had stepped in back whenever, what ifs, I wouldn't have went through what I went through. I would still be suffering, but I wouldn't have went through the tragedies I went through, and maybe I would have been able to save my friend's life. So what is different about Massachusetts? Massachusetts is a community-based group. We're a small state. We stick together. We have events like this. It doesn't happen across the country. I grew up in a little town called Rockland. Anyone know where that is? Well, every street corner is named after someone who went to war and died. I thought every town in America was like that. And now I know, because of my experiences, is that's why Massachusetts suicide rate is so low. So my mission is to take my motorcycle and drive across the country to everybody that's willing to listen to me and tell them what you're doing here. So all the great organizations in Massachusetts, from the Department of Veterans Affairs to Boston Wounded Veteran for 22 Kill, to my organization, Vet Unite, that focuses on mentoring veterans, to show them the steps that they need to do to come out of the darkness and back into the light. And it never ends. And then that's why we need you guys. Yeah. So I like to finish usually when I talk about saying this last part, and then like, what is it all for? All this suffering, all this death and destruction in these wars, what's it going to come down to? And we may not see it in our lifetime, but I have a vision in my mind. And the vision of that mind is my son is an old man, and he's sitting on a porch, and his grandson's sitting on his lap. And he looks up at my son and he says, Grandpa, what is it like when there's no more tyranny? What happened? What was it like before there was tyranny in the world? Because we're close. That Middle East stuff's going to figure out. North Korea's, that's nothing. But these young soldiers that are out there right now, and I tell it to them when I speak to them, they, in the next few years, are going to be walking through the plains of Africa and freeing millions of people from tyranny. Yeah. Yeah. And then we will have no more tyranny in this world. And I just want to clap and thank them for this. Yeah.